All of 30 minutes?
We got this. It's only a 30-minute podcast, Sandy. I know we've lied about that before, but I swear it's a 30-minute podcast.
How many hermits are there again?
Don't worry about it.
It's for hermits.
Sing to me, Talia, muse of comedy, of the seasons, and the punk that has scattered through the hills. Sing of the fishermen and the memories we have made along the way. Welcome to FanDive. My name is Chaos.
And my name is Andy.
And today we are going to do the impossible and attempt to recap Hermitcraft Season 10.
In 30 minutes was your goal?
Every time I invite a guest, I'm like, yeah, we're about a 30-minute podcast. Don't look at any of our recent podcast episodes. I promise you, it's fine.
No. That's a normal Hermitcraft recap episode. We can do... Pixelris will do that sometimes for 1 week. Not every week, but sometimes.
So we have there's two different ways we could do this. We could run through Hermit by Hermit, or we could give a general vibes. I think general vibes is a good starting point, but I don't want to leave people out, so.
Let's cover our big topics first.
We start the season. Everyone's gathered around a lava pool. It's cozy. It's cute. Mumbo starts the season, and I think gets pushed into the lava.
No, I think it was Exuma that got
Someone gets pushed into the lava.
But we got 2 new hermits this season.
We got 2 new hermits. It was Skizzleman and Joel Smallish Beans. And I was like so excited because everyone's like, well, Skizz can't build. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Hermitcraft is about friendship.
Yeah, no, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. This is their friends. And I really enjoyed this season because they did lean more into, we're not just trying to build big extravagant things. Not that they're not building big extravagant things.
They are.
They are, but they did lean more into that community aspect, both the community within themselves, but also the fandom as a whole. And it was really nice. And Skizz being a part of it did help, in my opinion, because that man loves to make a group and hang out with people.
Yeah. And like everyone, the way that people broke off to start building their bases, people broke off into groups. Like we have the Magic Mountains, we have the punkness happening with Pearl and Tango and what's it, Impulse? No, Impulse was with, but nope. Impulse. Okay. I connect Impulse to Joel just because their bases are literally connected. So I guess everyone was just really close together. Everyone's base was just really close together. And then there was like the little neighborhood, and it was just so cute and cozy.
I do count Impulse and Joel as part of the punk crew, because they were. Because everyone decided some version of punk was
Season 10, the season of punk. Joel and Impulse did cyberpunk, Pearlescent Moon did solarpunk, Tango did steampunk, Exuma is Exuma. Was anyone else doing punk?
I mean, B-Dubs was technically part of Impulse's thing.
Yeah, but that was like considered the B-Dubs base, not the Impulse base.
Yeah.
False was pretty close to be, like if False like did a little more technology, it would be considered cyberpunk, but it's right on the edge of dystopian.
Ren did full dystopian.
Ren did sci-fi dystopian, which is different.
Corrales at the end there had some... That wasn't really punk.
Corrales did abandon Snow Base. Okay, we're gonna... That goes into recording everyone later. But, oh my god, speaking of Corrales, Demise happens this season.
It's true. We brought it back. It's not just the live series.
Brought it back. The reason why I bring up Corrales specifically is because one of the big final Demise deaths was like Grian and Joel trying to explodify. Was it XB? It was XB, right?
XB, because it was XB's birthday.
Yeah, and Corrales was just happened to be there when the explosion went off. Corrales just went flying into the atmosphere. It was gorgeous.
to the moon. I saw so many things when it first happened, just because the shout of obliterate like it's a magical spell, followed by the slow motion Kralis getting launched into the sky, into oblivion, never to be seen again.
Corrales' face with the giant eyes and the open mouth is just,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Yeah, he looked so aghast by, whoa. Oh, that's just his face. That's not even something special. That's just his face.
That's just his face. The permits are another big beat we have to talk about because they defined so much of the season.
Yeah, so rather than doing a normal shopping district, they've not done shopping district every season, but it's a thing.
I think they try to do something different for their shopping/economy thing every season, and the permits were just the version this season.
Yeah, the permits were this season. It was something they decided it would be fun and they wanted to give a try. And basically, instead of having people just choose whatever to sell, they were given different permits, and you have to have a permit in order to sell that thing. You can trade permits with other people, you can share permits, but you got to have the permissions in order to sell the items.
And some people took to the permits really, really well. Other people were like, whatever. My favorite memory of the permits was actually very early on during actually, it wasn't even early on. It was during the pop-up purge. So that was end of the early stages of Hermitcraft Season 10. And they were getting rid of all the whatchamacallit, all the pop-up stands. They're impounding them, putting them away. And they picked up Etho's shop. And Etho was selling stone. But Etho had been supplied by Joe Hills, who was terraforming an entire mountain range and simply removing the mountains from existence.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Hills still had the agreement of he has to give Etho stone. So he kept giving Etho stone, even though the shop was impounded. And slowly but surely, the double chest full of stones spilled out from the shop and then broke into the permanent enforcement group's office window, and it continued. It never stopped.
No, it really didn't. It spread like the plague. It spread worse than the skulk, in my opinion. But yeah, as you kind of touched on, the permits started. Everyone was given 3, I believe. Yes, 3.
Yeah,
from one of each tier.
They were one of each tier. One was a bad tier, one was a mid tier, and one was this is the high powered awesomeness tier.
Yeah, something you could get a lot of money and profit from. A lot of people, Jevin, did not like this system. And eventually we got things such as the permit office. Grian built an office in the middle of the woods so nobody would come visit him.
And then the shopping district expanded into it, and it was well, it's no longer hidden and tucked away.
You got the permit officers, you got the permit office, you got that weird building that was basically like a government building, which is separate than the other kind of government building. Got the weights on, and then you got the whole exile arc.
Yes, exile. I love the exile arc so much because it really put so much attention on other hermits. Now, I love Green. I love Green to the bottom of my heart, but he is so yes and improver, and that brings a lot of attention to what he does. And for once, the permit office was he is going to run the permit, and his whole deal is that he doesn't want to work. And so the other people involved in this storyline, which were Cub and Scar and Skiz and Jevin and Joe Hills and Zombie Cleo, they got so much more attention because Grian was busy playing the Hold song for anyone who checked in on his POV.
Yeah, so much Hold music. That's all that's going on over in his POV. Meanwhile, Skiz, Scar, and Cub were exiling people that were not upholding their permits.
And they did this by changing the spawn location to the world border and then breaking people's beds.
So that was a fun challenge. That is something that I took a lot of delight in, watching who'd get got.
Zombie Cleo's spite ride back to the homeworld. Joe Hill's ability to outrun everyone and everything.
He's so good at it.
That was a Muppet on a mission.
Yeah, that was a Muppet on a mission. He was so good at it. He's good at what he does. And what he does is be real strange and unpredictable. And when you're in a chase scene, being strange and unpredictable is helpful.
It is beautiful and perfect. And
But we also got Sal the salmon.
it's Sal the salmon. Jevin went a little insane and made friends with a severed salmon head and now
Hey,
worships a severed salmon head and then built a giant statue of that at Joe Hill's base.
he also built a castle for. Um, but that's later. That was later. Just gonna bring something up here. Did you realise that salmon had a big overarching thing for this season?
Yeah,
We had a salmon subplot the entire season.
it started off with Big Salmon when it was like Doc M77 was like he didn't like eating salmon, but then he tried to like backtrack it of like, well, it's not bad, and then like it was like Vintage Beef and Skizzleman were like, what, are you scared of big salmon coming knocking at your door? And then it kidnapped his villagers, and then
Just a salmon.
I'm like, what? And now salmons are in exile, and now they're reigning over Jevin.
Yeah, and okay, so that was episode 1, day 1 when everyone joined, when Big Salmon first became a thing. And then we got like the fishing arc where everyone is fishing and like the salmon and the cods in the walls. And then you got the Big Salmon, like, there was a whole thing, wasn't there? Like, we were scared it was going to turn into a prank war type thing.
Oh yeah, a lot of absolute mayhem went down. Don't forget about False deciding to spread rivers everywhere and then casually mentioning to, I think it was like Gemini Tea's like, oh, the rivers might take over, and I'm like, are we doing the moon but reversed?
No. False said that, but Jen was like, yeah, there's stuff in the water because she's the one that was doing like fish in the air and stuff.
The evil monsters, yeah.
Yeah. Plus we had Sal, that was the talking head of salmon that we worship.
And don't forget XB Crafted, who was rebuilding the giant ocean monument base and becoming giant ocean monument fighters and tridents and everything insane.
Yeah, so something was up with the fish this season.
Something was up with the fish this season.
Don't know what's up. Don't think any of that was planned. Don't think they even realised how big of an impact salmon had on this season, but it was a thing.
It was beautiful and perfect.
I love, I believe, who was it? Was it Corrales? I know Exuma did a whole portion of it, but the Museum of Fan Art.
Corrales also helped out with that. That was stunning.
Yeah,
I
Corrales
love the
built
fan
the
art
thing.
museum.
And that's kind of what I meant by you had so much more with the community of the people interacting and living close to one another and creating storylines with one another, but you also had that community outside the server itself being brought more into this season, because there's a museum in the world download.
Yeah,
of
there's a
all
fan
of this
art
art
museum. And then
that people
there was
made
also
for them.
the giant live stream where they raised money, and then they brought guests into the server a lot, especially during the finale, where it just felt like, yeah, not only is Hermitcraft about the people on it, but it's also about the people surrounding it.
Yeah, there's people supporting them, friends, family. I think at least 2 people got married this season.
Yeah, 2 people got married, one person had a divorce, there was a child born, like, come on.
It was a really, really good season for that community aspect. And I hope it continues to be something that the community is interconnected in one another, because I do strongly believe in that. It was one of my favourite aspects of the season, just that togetherness of it all.
It was so good. Okay, was that the last major talking point you want to go through before we run down the people's names?
I don't know, I think the courthouse is kind of fun, but...
Well, the first person to bring up is B-Dubs. So yes, the courthouse. B00-100 built a courthouse to determine the lawsuits, and Doc M77 got sent to Skyblock multiple times, even though he wasn't always the one on trial.
Yeah, so there were a couple different trials. It was supposed to be like... How did he refer to it?
Judge, Judy, and executioner.
Well, no. It's not kangaroo court, though it was.
Tall claims court.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So it was not taken too seriously. There was fake cameras and everything set up because the real cameras weren't enough.
And things were determined by heads or tails. Like, literally...
Heads or tails.
It was perfect. Strike system.
Strike system, throwing a snowball at the people.
The Joe Hill's Juppet
Juppet.
trying to defend Doc M77 by comparing him to an infant.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. I loved that a
That was
lot.
great. Yeah, I loved
Yeah, yeah. But Mumbo also had one in the talking
Mumbo
Facebook
threw a brick through someone's window.
XB's shop.
Yeah,
Got a brick through the window, and not just a single brick, an entire cube of bricks.
well, because XB was complaining that Mumbo's shop was too loud, which it was, let's be real. But also it was about the ambiance. It was meant to be a mine. It was meant to be noisy, and XB's like, not next to my organic food shop. And so
Yeah.
broken window.
As well as a noise machine above, words thrown at one another. But Scar showing up like, I'm a lawyer, I don't know what's happening, I've been briefed 5 minutes ago and I'm wearing cargo shorts. I loved B-Dubs playing the lawyer because he does have that certain animation in his voice, and he built this beautiful courthouse, and the judgments he made were delightful.
Delightful. So B-Dubs, even though he helped out a lot with Impulse's City, especially near the end, B-Dub's season was really about making art. What can you do in Minecraft and frame it like it's a painting? And it was stunning to watch.
So
the
he had
visuals,
this little cottage.
the editing,
Little cottage on the hill.
the music.
Yeah, no, the editing that he does, I agree. The editing is real nice. What it really is highlighting that biome that he's completely redone. The forest he's made, the trees constructed, each individual grass just placed just so.
Just so. The way he used glass and smoke to simulate a waterfall, the way that there was just enough lighting and shadows, and he goes out of his way to play on like a lower lightness level than most Minecrafters play at because of the way that it visually affects the world, and it's so pretty.
It is. I love the stuff that he does. Man is an artist and he knows it, but he's also a cartoon character and he knows it.
And the exact opposite direction is CubFan135, who decided to continue on with the Skulk, with the storyline of the Skulk has become like some witches got in some sort of situation and they've spread Skulk everywhere, and at some point Zombie Cleo stole Skulk from his base, and then CubFan was like, well, now it's going to spread around your base, and then Zombie Cleo did a test and determined that actually the Skulk is in love with Cub.
It's true. She did
true.
decide that. It was diamonds that were stolen, by the way.
I don't know what I said, but yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I love Cub. I think my favourite, it shouldn't be, but my favourite Cub thing this season was when he introduced himself to the permit people with the elytra on and the slow fall potion. So he's just slowly...
Such a perfect visual.
Like, hello, boy.
It was so good. And Cub is always trying to break the game in every way, and this season was so much about fireworks because that was his permit, but he had colorful fireworks, so it was every variation of color and effect and bolt and duration, and it was if you saw the finale stream, so many people were using it, and they were also pretty. Yeah,
he made an auto crafter for all the different firework types, and he made a bunch of different firework types for a bunch of different things, for like Metro Mayhem, and they had fireworks. He did fireworks for Gem Space, for sparking in the power lines. He was the firework supplier. He made custom ones for most people. I don't know if it was for everyone, but most people got a custom firework for them.
The next person on the list is Doc M77. I'm like, I feel like it's been a minute since I've seen a Doc episode.
Yes, he is dealing with health issues and children.
Oh, and children, yes. That's gonna get you sick.
Health issues in children. I think he broke his leg, was it?
Oh no.
He had to get like a surgery done.
Not the doctor.
No, Doc M77 needs to see the doc. He did a lot this season though. He did.
He introduced gambling again to Hermitcraft.
Yep. Don't worry, I have the playing cards. He did not like big salmon.
He did not like, he was the one fighting big salmon, and he was collecting sand to buy wood
Oh,
because he
yeah,
had the
yeah,
permits and no one else could
yeah.
compete against him.
What was the shop called? Chaos?
Big wood.
Yeah. And it was big. It was a big shop.
It
And he filled
was.
it with sand because they wouldn't let him sand dupe a bunch of sand. And so he made them pay in shulkers and chests for the sand. And he slowly filled up the timer with sand and never used any of it. It was
And
just to make a point.
never used any of it.
It was just to make a point, and
It was very
I
pretty,
salute
though.
that man.
It was very pretty.
It was absurd. It was absurd for how fast it was made, but that's the Doc M77 way.
And then the fireworks show to start it off, stunning. I love it. All right.
Didn't he have a weird thing in the Exile arc? What was he doing during
So
Exile?
he wanted to taunt the people in the Exile arc and then make them pay insane prices for the stuff he was bringing over. And then Zombie Cleo went, I'm actually going to spite you and you specifically. And then Zombie Cleo
yes.
and Joe Hills managed to get things spawned into the world and freak Doc M77 out a lot.
So, to no one's surprise, Doc M was the one who figured out how to launch somebody to the world porter.
Yeah, it all started because of him.
Yeah. And he could do that without breaking beds or dying. He just goes, whoop, I'm on a quantum pig or whatever's up with that.
Well, when he started doing it, it was back when that area was still the Farlands, like this unreachable place. And then they like moved the world border around and it was like, well, yeah, you can go live there now. But back when he did it, it was like this place of legend that you could never touch.
He is always up to making something mind-blowing. I love watching his videos so much.
He's so good.
Doc
Well, speaking
M77.
of someone that you really enjoy, Ifo.
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 The Ifo girlie. I
Ifo
eventually made a roof.
he actually managed to build a whole house this season, which inside and out insane. However, when I think of his base, I don't think of that. I think of Ravager Rush.
No, I think of the sorting system.
Yeah, true, yeah. I feel like this season as a whole was so much mini games, and Etho really starting it off with Ravager Rush. He's like, I need to make a shop to sell fog lights.
No. You might think that he started it, but no, go back. We started off with mini games. We started off with Demise, and
Does
we never
Demise
stopped.
count as a mini game? I guess it does.
Yeah, it's a game within the game.
Sure. I consider that an event. But yes, we start off with Demise. Etho decides to build Frogger for his frog-like shop, and everything spiraled from there.
Well, I'll have you know, many of the mini games are planned ahead of time. But you also got... never mind. I'll mention other mini games as we get to the people.
Etho is Etho, and everyone loves Etho because it's Etho, and huzzah! Next person on the list is False Cemetery. I love False, and the base...
Love her base.
The base was so pretty. The way that it was like very muted earth tone colors and yet still felt so vibrant and alive. And like literally it was like it was a cute like semi outdoor market space. And then the second the roof went on the top, I'm like, we're in it now. Lock in. This is stunning.
Gosh.
It was I cannot wait for the world download to walk around that area. Oh, the armor stands too.
And she did rivers.
Rivers, big business in Rivers, connecting all of the spawn area of Hermitcraft via water.
Good at it.
Very good.
Big
Very
business.
good.
Big business. Did Rivers have the beautiful some of the choices that she made for the build itself? I can't even articulate. I love specifically one of the armor stand things. The leaning two shields against one another, but one of the shields has a banner on it, so it looks like there's a writing.
Oh yeah, the chalkboard look. I love that's been around for a minute, but False is the one who like really uses it well.
She used it really well. I hadn't seen it before her. She won Demise, by the way.
Yeah, and the prize for Demise was a wild card permit, and False literally used that to, I'm gonna sell permit merch, and then used that opportunity to lure the permit office in and explodify them, because False was actually a member of NoPo.
Let's go, NoPo!
Let's go, NoPo! Yeah! Fly, Joe Hills, fly!
Fly, Joe Hills, fly! It's like Run, Forest, Run, but just Joe Hills version.
Oh, do we have much more to say about False other than go look, it's so pretty, please, oh my god.
There's a lot I could say, but you wanted this to be 30 minutes?
Well, it's been
How many
26
minutes
minutes so far, so let's hurry to Gemini Tay. Gemini Tay built Dredged, and like when I was first watching the season, I'm like, oh, this is pretty, it's fishing, everyone's doing fishing. And then I played Dredged, and I was like, oh no, this is it.
There's monsters. There's monsters in the deep.
It's so... And then I just watched Gem's finale episode. I actually fell asleep halfway through it. But I woke up for that big, beautiful look over the base in the shaders. And it felt so like I'm in Dredged. Like I'm in a 3D Dredged. And it's perfect. The vibes, I understand Gem had to scale down the base quite a lot, but I think it fit so well with the atmosphere that it was giving.
And it also connects the ones nearby. It brings this little area to life, and it has that little bit of magic, that little bit of reality, that little bit of, whoa, this is a little world that we're viewing right now.
It was pretty.
I really liked the skull in the mountain.
It was so pretty. And the fight pit. Oh, we gotta talk about Fight Club. We'll get back to that. We'll come back to that. I swear we'll come back to that.
Okay, we will come back to Fight Club, but we don't talk about Fight Club, so...
Yeah. Grian went insane fishing and finally got his mending book. Yay.
Yeah, that's a real quick recap. It took so long. All you would see him do is fishing. Half the time he wasn't recording or speaking, he was muted, and you would just see him in the background fishing for days and weeks.
And he grew a beard while that was happening.
He made a shrine. He was just fishing for mending.
And apparently Tango Tech thought it was a bit. He didn't actually think that Grian was like not able to fish up a mending book, and Grian was unhappy with that. It was 100% legitimate according to Grian.
I believe him. Based on the way that I would see him constantly in the background of streams, like early season Gemini Tay videos, it was just looking over and going, yep, that's my neighbor. He's still fishing.
Anyways, yeah. Gemini Tay building a haunted fishing village, Grian being the haunted fisherman.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, basically.
You skipped Good Times with Scar, by the way.
Oh, I put Scar like down next to Skizzleman. I just call him Scar.
Oh, poo! Use official username.
Hypnotized, aka Hypno. Hypno always has really short seasons, builds a really cozy starter base, hangs out a bit, will play 1 or 2 mini games, and then Hypno actually runs the Hermitcraft website and like a couple other official things for Hermitcraft. And so it was like very much more behind the scenes player.
Yeah, but he's doing a Skyblock thing with XP.
He's doing Skyblock right now. That's not related to Hermitcraft, but like if you miss Hypno, he's still out there. He's doing great.
I was watching them before we started. Yeah, he made the... Oh, goodness.
It was the...
seasons start to overlap. It's the more modern type base, yeah?
Yeah, it's the one with the copper roof house that you see from the lava pit.
Yes!
He literally like took 2 steps away from spawn and went, I'll live here.
He made all of the netherite sets with the different armor trims.
Yes.
He did a full netherite set of every single armor trim.
It
was so impressive. And it's not impressive in the way of Joel and his skyscrapers, because it's not as big that you can see. But if you think about it for a moment, that is insane of him to do.
That's so much netherite. I did not do netherite mining. I think I literally got like 2 scraps of netherite and I used that to put trim on my diamond armor and called it a day.
He also had a tunnel in his base, didn't he?
I think
was it to? I know he had a tunnel, but I'm trying to remember who's to. Was it to Wells?
Yes. It was connecting to Wells's basement, I think. Someone with a castle connected to Hypno's house, and it was used to escape the Poe.
But it was also just a fun connection between the 2 of them.
It was also cute and fun. Speaking of cute and fun, Impulse SV built a dystopian cyberpunk city that just experienced an apocalyptic revolution.
Okay, Jevon's lower on the list, I guess.
Impulse comes before Jevon.
Yeah, it's I Jevon. It's not just Jevon, it's I Jevon. I Jevon. IJ comes before I am.
Yeah, anyways, Impulse's whole thing was that he wanted to build a city filled with mini games, and then each mini game would like save a part of the city from like being restored from power after they had to shut down the evil AI revolution that was happening. And then he built a few of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Metro Mayhem, though, that was the real start. It was an Ace Race inspired track, and I cannot wait to run it.
Yeah, I believe it was originally supposed to be like you're trapped in the city and you have to get a certain amount of video games, mini games.
I mean, yeah, technically.
In order to escape. Metro Mayhem is the one we spent the most time on.
There was also the dropper that was finished earlier.
But there was also things such as the dropper, and it also had the bop station, bop and go.
And there was so many like farms built under the city too. Like I know he built a huge space to put things on, but also where did he find space?
In between the cracks.
Yeah, literally squeezed in there.
Yeah, they discussed it. Episode 1. There was too many cracks in there.
Yeah, indeed. All right, now should we talk about Jevon?
Yeah.
So Jevon always does these really pretty, like, enclosed spaces. I think Jevon has a background in interior design or something like that, where everything just feels like it's like a hug. His bases feel like a hug, and they're so cute and cozy and hyper detailed in a way that it makes you look like it's on a scale of the person.
I firmly believe Jevon is underrated.
Indeed.
I firmly believe it. I believe that a number of people that enjoy green would also enjoy Jevon. This man is a silly little menace.
And he does so many pranks.
He gets under the radar. He does a lot of pranks all the time. He's always in somebody's business.
And he really goes out of his way to make sure that there's a collab with any other hermit in almost every single one of his episodes. He's like really making sure that he's connected to the greater Hermitcraft community.
Sometimes they don't even realize what he's done. Little things where he's like that prank of moving everything just slightly to the left or whatever. He's doing that kind of thing constantly.
Yeah. And he and Cleo have this like weird hidden tension where they're pranking each other, but also kind of not, but also kind of yes. And sometimes they're on the same side, and then sometimes they're like, "You're my enemy. Be prepared to be destroyed."
But he also is decorating for every single holiday, music included, and
he
made the magical forest.
Yeah, beautiful, massive forest with this enclosed top, and he covered everything with snow for Christmas, and then he spookified everything for Halloween, and it was so good.
He's underrated. Go watch him.
Oh, that's part of our other section. Underrated, Joe Hills, the Juppet himself.
Go, the difference. Let's go, it's the difference himself.
So Joe Hills randomly showed up the start of the season with a brand new Minecraft skin that was like neon blue, eyes on the side of his head, claiming to be a puppet.
Yeah, he had an orange nose and everything at the beginning until he went through the laundry and lost his nose.
Yeah. It's how do you even talk about... Okay, so Joe Hills is awesome and so cool.
Here's the difference.
And
they made Homedale.
Hermit Homedale was a project where it was meant to be this giant open area that they terraformed, completely removing mountains, which is where all the stone came from earlier.
For scale. This is an actual place, but it's not. But it's...
Yeah, and the idea was that Joe Hills wanted areas that hermits could come to build whatever they wanted, even if it didn't fit with their base. And Azuma took really good advantage of that, because Azuma wanted a couple times where like, I just need to turn off my brain and make pixel art. And Joe Hills was like, here's a plot of land, go.
Yeah.
And it was, and also built an exact replica of this light museum that it was scaled and everything. Oh my god!
Just made the mini version of it in the Nether as well.
Yeah,
we didn't talk about B-Dub's Nether.
B-Dub's made a whole Nether. Oh, it was everything about Hermitcraft is pretty and beautiful and stunning, and I love it so much.
Everything. don't look at the trap at the bottom of the volcano.
Well, at the bottom of the volcano is the void, and I think the void is pretty, so okay.
Yeah, that's all that's down there.
And nothing else.
Anyway, how's Corrales doing?
Corrales, I love Corrales. As many people know, Corrales is one of my favorite members of Hermitcraft. Corrales is kind of known for building this tropical, resort-like, beachy area with airplanes and adorableness. And then halfway through the season, actually kind of near the end, honestly, Corrales'
Randog.
Yeah, XB went, Corrales hasn't been around for a while. I'm just going to sell Corrales' house. And
I'm pretty sure XB was just trying to bait Corrales back online.
Basically, yeah, and it worked because then Corrales built a giant boat and crashed it into the side of XB's crafted mega base, and then Corrales went...
XB sold that one too.
Yeah, I don't think Corrales ever found out about that. And then Corrales went off and went, I need to build an actual house again because I'm now out of a house, and then built a stunning snow biome, just gorgeousness. Oh, it was so pretty.
It's just a base type thing.
Yeah, it was very much given this like abandoned scientist thing, which I think we already talked about. It was
it's cool. Things are cool, literally and figuratively, because it was in the snow.
It was so good. I love Corrales. I want more people to care about Corrales because I want to talk more about Corrales. But we've already done like multiple podcast episodes that are just about Corrales. Well, maybe just one. We've done podcast episodes about Corrales.
We like him. He's cool. Look at his funny little face.
I think he's neat.
You can get more Corrales content that's not on Hermitcraft.
It's true.
Go watch those as well.
It's true. Okay, next up, Mumbo La Jumbo. Dude, Mumbo Jumbo. I think he had one of his best seasons ever here. This was an insane season for him.
It was. I was thoroughly impressed because earlier, this isn't exactly Hermitcraft, but it does matter to my point. Earlier on in the Minecraft community as a whole, we would often talk about different categories of Minecraft players. Redstoners, builders, the flower pickers, the explorers, and they would often keep to the little boxes. And I know there were videos made about it with Mumbo, of Mumbo as the redstoner, Green as the builder. But with Season 10 specifically, people weren't defined by that little box in any sort of way between Pearl's expansions, but Mumbo became a really good builder and really showed off the skills that he has been learning and growing. Like, if somebody showed how beautiful and thought out, he used glass to change the colouring and shading just so, and he incorporated the redstone into it, so the redstone is also just the fans and the cogs and stuff. He really demonstrated this combination between we're not just doing one and look at the skills we've created over time. And he did such a great job of it, okay? That's my point.
Pretty. I have like nothing else to add. I'm just like, when people ask like, hey, who should I watch to get into Hermitcraft? I'm like, if you just want to watch Season 10, you just want to see the most recent stuff, watch Mumbo Jumbo, because this season very much felt like what Hermitcraft is meant to be for Mumbo. He had friends, he had like immediate base neighbors, he was helping people out around, and he was building this really tight-knit but gigantic feeling of a base with a wild storyline of him turning into a chicken that's controlling a robot. Like, but that's Mumbo.
All of the little buildings he created had stories behind them as well. Like, this one building, we talked about the person in it, but also his son and the relationship between the two of them. Are they ever seen? No, but later they had the townsfolk and the scientists and the fish dying in the river and these little details that aren't necessarily necessary, but
it made it. It made that base feel like alive.
Yeah, and everything was so thought through. Like, there were business cards for these little buildings. There was merch made of the different stuff. I have one of them.
The merch is so good.
Yeah, there was a lot of merch this season, to be honest.
Well, by the time this podcast comes out, the pre-sale will be over, but I am actively looking at the Postmaster Pearl makeshift plushie. I've yet to buy a makeshift plushie, but it's so freaking cute, and I think that is one of my favorite skins Pearl has ever worn. And I've literally cosplayed. It's so pretty.
We also have the actual Hermitcraft merch for the first time.
Oh yeah, we have official Hermitcraft merch. I have the mug.
That is the whole
and the shirt.
I got a t-shirt.
It's such a pretty. It's so pretty.
We've never had like Hermitcraft as a whole. We've had individuals make stuff, but as a whole,
yeah,
whoa.
The mug of all the members playing instruments, and they are like, and it's so good. It's so good.
Anyway, who are we?
Anyway, Pearlescent Moon is next, which is awesome and wonderful. Pearlescent Moon started doing solar punk, which is interesting because at the start of the season, I don't think Pearl even knew what solar punk was, but it's very much like. Nope. She
had to look it up.
Way of being with nature while still having this very alternative vibe to it of like connect with and become punk through solar power panels and the way light reflects and colors and recycling old buildings, and it was so good. And the battle arena, we have to talk about the battle arena.
Gosh, let's go Fight Club.
Yeah, so there was a Fight Club this season that we're not supposed to talk about it. However, Pearlescent Moon made a ballroom, and that ballroom was secretly a fighting arena.
It was. It's great. It's so cool. It's so cool.
It's so cool, and I love it. The vibes in there are so pretty, and the way you can use the armor stands of the people dancing around and use them as part of the fight because the maces will let you bounce on them, and I'm just
Well, Mumbo is somebody known as a red shoner who has now become really, really good at building and creating story in what he's doing, because that man has a film major. Is he a major? He has a degree in film, and
professional film person who has worked on professional productions.
Pearl has been known for the beautiful things she can build, and this season, with the fighting arena, but also with things such as the chorus farm, Pearl.
Yeah, casually, the first giant redstone project was a mini game, and Tango's like, "That's not where you're supposed to start," and Pearl's like, "But it got me into it, so
I think the first thing is actually like a mud farm or something.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yes, recreated the game of Wordle. Most people are familiar, but in Minecraft, as part of a flower shop, because we're just gonna do that casually.
It's so pretty. It's the little cars that had the flowers. Oh, I love the little cars.
Yeah, did it count as a pop-up shop or did it not? Let's decide this week if it gets blown up.
Okay, we have to move on to Ren. Like, speaking of all the cute vehicles, Ren finishing up the Gigacorp lore, which we do have to. We'll talk about that eventually. We have to.
It's not. I don't understand.
It's so Ren has this lore where it's a giant space company, and they send astronauts out to make sure planets are habitable before like the new people come in, and that's like how to explain away like how people go to different seasons and different worlds and different SMPs. They're all on different planets, and
I thought they were illusions in some time. There was VR, like we have the
so there was a point in time where the Hermits didn't have a world ready. They couldn't find one in time, so they just put everyone inside the Matrix and went, wait here while we find another planet. So
it was 8, I think.
Yeah, 8 was a simulation according to Rendog.
And his name was Mumbo Jumbo.
But this season, Ren was like officially like, this is the colony. You land down on this planet. You start doing research, but some things are like toxic and they start poisoning the planet, like the spores and the sulfur and the space rats, which were actually armadillos. And that's why you have to build a wall around your base, because that's going to keep everything in and not affect the rest of the planet. And it felt he told such a good story through his builds alone. If you just look at his build, you can see what the story is.
Yeah, you can figure it out. I know in some of the ending streams and stuff, he was really proud of the storytelling that you can find without signs explaining what stuff are.
Mm-hmm.
He also did Scootball.
He also invented Scootball, a proper soccer game in Minecraft using armadillos.
Football. Let's go.
Sure.
Scoots.
Association of Football, shortened to soccer, if you don't know the origins of that word. Ren, amazing storyteller, but this is the last season that he has talked about wanting to do Gigacorp lore, so we don't know what his next season's going to be like.
We don't know what a lot of people's next season's going to be like.
I think Jem briefly talked about wanting to do Gothic, and that's about it. Most people don't super have a plan right now, but they're also going to go on break for a while, so maybe that's their planning time.
Have said they have plans, but aren't going to say it, because if you say it, then you have to commit to it, and don't.
Well,
Tango Tech.
No, it's Good Times to Scar next.
Dang it, why is it he lowered the
list? We're skipping Skizzleman and Smallish Beans as well.
I am taking directly from the Hermitcraft website of the list of people. Then why are yours in a different order than mine?
I don't know. Is it the sidebar when you do the hamburger menu and it scrolls down? Good Times to Scar is next.
No.
Yes.
Whatever.
Good Time to Scar.
Whatever.
Built a zoo, and it was super pretty.
It's really cool. And he's not eating dolphins.
No, not at all. Even though they kind of deserve it.
And it kind of looks like it.
They're totally burgers.
They are burgers.
Normal burgers.
They are not dolphins.
No. But he's just continued on his beautiful theme park adventuring, and he has made beautiful places with beautiful things.
Redwood trees.
The redwood trees. Oh my god. Yeah, his starter base, again, not super starter base, was a train that was carrying the menagerie of animals that was flying through a redwood forest. One of the trees was randomly on fire, and the glass used to make that fire.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It was everything.
I loved the trees. I loved the forest, and I loved the tree on fire, because I remember the fire specifically being I don't know if it even was in a video that he built it. If it was just a time lapse.
Yeah, it was so a casual, offhanded thing that people just kept looking at, going, "What? How? What?"
Yeah, I remember a Green video where he was doing this thing, and he looks up and goes, When did
that
forest
happen?
On fire?
I think
the forest really stands out to me, because it's not a clown train, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, his zoo, the big opening archway to the zoo. It's you think of that when you think of the Scar base, but what actually was his season was the train, it was the fire, it was the forest, it was the magical porter, and the up balloon, and the exile, and the the
Animal Mafia boss
people. Yeah,
Animal Mafia boss.
So much this season was anything but the mega base for so many people, and I loved that.
Yeah, well, there are kind of mega bases. There are very much mega bases. But what I like to focus on isn't necessarily how big and extravagant it is, but the fun they had creating it. Because that fun of Scar's not feeling well, so he lit a tree on fire.
Yeah. And go back to season 7 when Green was doing anything to not finish the back of his base, because it wasn't fun at that point for him. He wanted to do literally everything else, and it became the joke of finish the back of your base, and he's like, no, I don't want to. And that didn't happen this season, because people were having fun with what they were building.
I would like to say that it kind of did happen, but they've learned how to manage it in a different way as a community. Because even Green didn't do the back of his base. He put it up against a mountain for a reason.
Yeah, there's also that.
But they did start doing things like that, where I don't want to do that step, so I'm going to put the back of the mountain to it. Or we're building the volcano now. Got it?
Are you ready? And they did. It was pretty.
I'm doing it together, making it Hermits helping Hermits project.
Next person to talk about is Skizzleman.
Let's go, Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
I love it. I love it so much because it's so Skizzleman. It's so Skizzleman. Like the dude, he just the way he talks is it's yeah. What else were you expecting except Maslow's hierarchy of needs for his first Hermitcraft big thing?
Gotta survive it because it's a mini game. Everything's a mini game.
Everything's a mini
might
game.
make you question your reality if you're fancy enough.
Well, it was more of like questioning your place and why you here and what makes you individualized and all that jazz. It was so skizz though. And also, like, how did he pack in everything to that tiny little pyramid?
Let me say, I don't think he knows.
It's fine.
He tried really hard. He got some help from Impulse.
It's fine.
I love his base. He just collected gifts over the season.
Yeah, he's a very sentimental person. Like if someone gives him something, he'll just kind of hold on to it.
Yeah, so people started testing that, giving him random stuff, seeing what are you gonna do about it.
And he kept it. He kept it, and then he killed 2 horses, but he kept them.
He didn't even notice when the snails took them.
It's true. It's true.
And we've not even discussed the snails.
Okay, so there were snails that came from outer space, and they ate some of Gem's base, and then they stole some of Skizzleman's stuff, and they were cute.
Don't explain it. That was snails.
From outer space.
And they were a problem. Just leave it at that. Who's next?
Smallish beans.
Smallish beans. Man built so many skyscrapers. No interiors. Some interiors.
Some interiors. He went to Japan and then went, I'm just going to build this whole country in Minecraft. And then he was very good at it.
Mm-hmm. But more cyberpunk.
So cyberpunk. It was Tokyo if cyberpunk, but it was so dense. The whole base felt like you were going through alleyways, and it was super cozy in the way he did like graffiti everywhere.
It was great for the Nopo and the Po versus Nopo thing, because that thing is basically a big hide and seek map, and it got worse over time because it just slowly expanded, and it was brilliant, like making holographs out of floating candles.
It was so laggy, and the way he did billboards, the 3D billboard of his wife Lizzie.
Yeah, let's go. He's a dad. Boogie boogie boogie.
He has a child now.
Congrats, Joel.
Smallest lady, Shadow Beans. Oh, we've been talking for almost an hour. We gotta speed this up, Tango Tech. Tango did steampunk, and then he built Hungry Hermes, and then he got into a lot of everything. He proceeded to show up everywhere and then post no new videos about it until he made the Tangler.
He was largely streaming stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, he did a lot of streams. Like, I feel like a lot of Hermits were trying to balance between YouTube and Twitch, and I think Tango very much has fallen on the edge of Twitch.
Yeah, well, that's because he makes mini games, and sometimes those don't perform as well as videos.
Yeah. Great streams, though. Love watching it. Perfect background noise.
Love watching it. I do enjoy watching it, because that's a me thing. I'm a person who likes Tango Tech and Doc-M.
Ooh, Vintage Beef is next. I love Vintage Beef. Vintage Beef had a really, really cozy, really, really lovely farm base, because Vintage Beef actually, like, IRL lives on a very, like, hobby farm-esque thing.
Wait a minute. Chaos, he also had a child.
Oh, yeah, he also had a child.
Anyway, he built a farm. He's a farmer. He's great.
He's a farmer, and he was part of Big Salmon.
It was beautiful. I loved his chicken coop.
This was very good. It was so cozy. He built all of TCG last season, and he brought it over a little bit this season to like expand upon with alter egos and the new members. And then he was just kind of like, well.
He also rebuilt his house a few times because people kept pranking it.
His whole house was destroyed and rebuilt in different colors, and then he went, I'm just going to redo it. It's just going back to the way it was.
Yeah, he had a doorbell. I don't know why that was important to me.
It was very important.
I distinctly remember how important the doorbell was.
Next person is Wells Knight. I love Wells Knight.
Castle.
The castle.
Spontaneous castle.
I know, he was like, I was just going to plan the castle, and then he built the whole thing, and it was like, yes, very good.
No, that's what Wells is in my brain. Maybe he shouldn't be, because I do I have watched him do other things, but to me, when I think of what he's gonna do in Hermitcraft, it's we're gonna try to do this. I got bored and made a castle. See you guys again in 6 months.
All right, goodbye, Wells. When literally I was watching the finale stream and I saw Wells walk through the background, and I'm like, Wells? Wells Knight spotted? It was shooketh. Like, it felt like he shouldn't be there late season, and it's Wells Knight.
I was so happy. I was so happy he
It
was
was
there.
Wells
Because he's
Knight.
great. He is.
I love Wells Knight.
I wish you the best health, Wells. I really do.
I was following Wells on a couple different social medias for a while, and like the quality dog photos, top tier.
Yeah.
Top tier dog.
Very good. It's just that man loves to make a spontaneous castle and then disappear. I'm gonna come back and go, by the way, castle.
By the way, castle. I'm always like, I wonder what Wells is Wells gonna change the, and like, shocking how many different ways you can build a castle. Truly, I'm like, we've seen this before, but not like this.
Not like this, and he might call it slightly different terms.
It's pretty. It's so. I mean, they're different
It's
castle terms.
He's
To be
very
fair,
good at it.
yes.
To be fair, he knows how to do one thing really.
He's
really
so
well.
good at building castles. Yeah. Okay, XP Crafted. We've kind of briefly talked about XP Crafted, but XP Crafted was...
He made the monument base!
Yeah, he wanted to do a reference to all the seasons past, like all his old builds. Most notably, Season 3 is the one people most likely think of when they think of XP Crafted, and that is his reimagining of an underwater temple guardian awesomeness. But then he also connected it to, like, the time he lived in a woodland mansion, and then other things that aren't woodland mansions.
He put a big Corrales and getting zapped by
Yeah, he worked with armor stands to make giant Corraleses that were being zapped, and he became like the ruler of the Guardians. It was very pretty.
I love his Guardian base. I really, really do. It is something. I do think of that Season 3 base frequently. He also got up to more shenanigans. He does shenanigans, but he does them really, really quietly most of the time. This season we got a little bit more from where you could tell he's doing silly over there. For example, Corrales is gone. I'm gonna sell his base.
He does. His
His
does.
house got blown up on his birthday.
Yeah, he got explodified, and it was pretty. He does such like clean builds too. I will say a lot of people don't like the texture pack that he uses, and I have a hard time with the first like 10 or so video he puts up. Honestly, the second we hit episode 11, I'm like, okay, this is just how it looks.
I don't mind it. I've watched so many strange things that it really does not bother me in the slightest.
I was looking at video games to check out like what were on sale or whatever the other day. I'm like, I don't really love the graphics in this game. I'm like, hold on, I play Minecraft. Why do I care about graphics? Shut up. Like
Zuma.
Azuma. So
Zuma.
he
It's
built
Zuma boy.
this really pretty, it was, I think he referred to it as like a Mayan inspired temple build with like tough blocks, and it felt very like, again, the earthy organic feel that False was also pulling on. There wasn't a specific storyline that he was pulling through, which I think
No.
they mentioned this in the finale where it's like, yeah, maybe next season I want to do a more clear story, but it was so pretty.
Dude, I loved doing one of the server tours. I think it was the first server tour of the season, because they did a couple. They asked, okay, what inspired this base? And X just said, I don't know, pictures I found on Google.
Like, it was just kind of like, this was what X wanted to build, and so this is what X built.
It looks nice. It's cohesive. He put redstone in it, because of course he did.
Briefly was being like a wandering trader inspired character to go over to Exile, and then he set up Evil X out in Exile to like get people to pull pranks. I think Evil X is still in Exile, you know.
Well, he deserves a vacation.
Last known location, Exile.
Yeah, Evil X. We miss you.
We miss you.
You're so funny.
Come back.
Zedaf.
So Zedaf decided that he wanted to gamify even the most basic fundamental things of Minecraft. Zedaf started off the season with retextured sticks to look like padlocks and filled up his entire hotbar and went, I need to sacrifice a diamond before I can use any of my hotbar. And people went, well, how are you going to do that? And he went, creepers.
Yeah, we're going to blow up the diamonds until eventually one drops.
And then also, do you remember, I don't think it was this season, but do you remember when he was like making a song, and he needed creepers to go off as part of like the explosions of the cannons in the
That was
song.
season 9.
That was season
That was
9.
his-
Right, because that was the
Etho and
Zedvancements.
Zedaf for this advancement.
If
Etho
you
and
ever wonder what
Zedaf
Zedaf
season
is
9.
like, that's Zedaf.
Yeah, he brought back. Is that sheep looking at me?
Is that sheep looking at me?
Well, let's go.
If this was the
best
season
game
of
show.
minigames, Zed's base was the base of minigames. Like, everything about it, you had to complete a game in order to do. You had to complete a game to enchant. You had to complete a game in order to get cobblestone. You had to complete a game in order to get dripstone. You had to complete a game in order to use the furnace. Everything about it was a minigame, and I loved it.
Yeah, and most of them were broken.
And most of them are when the world updated, it did break a lot of things, and Zed went, "Okay, I guess that's my base."
But he got married, so
he also got married. He joked during one of the live streams where it was like, "Yeah, actually, I was having my wife help build like a lot of it, and that's why it looks so pretty." I mean, B-Dubs often jokes like he has his kids help mine for him, like. Like, just because there's, like, 26 members of Hermitcraft does not mean there's 26 players.
Joe Hills.
Joe Hills.
In the background, playing music.
Joe Hills and Quinn Hills. The amount of people who are like, is Quinn Hill going to join Hermitcraft? And Quinn's like, I don't play Hermitcraft. I just play the music in the background.
It's true.
It's true.
That's what she does.
Very good music. The last member to talk about, Zombie Cleo, King of Spite.
She made a monster.
Yeah, she made a monster. She made a monster. Cleo's base was all about this town that was facing the apocalypse, and then summoned a monster to deal with that, and it was like good. Yep. And also at one point had a pet pig, and then Doc killed that pet pig in front of Cleo, and that was the Skyblock with you.
The Skyblock with you. Early version of Banishment.
It was so good. It was so good. And just all the little armor stand work.
They found out Skulk.
Yeah, Skulk is in love with Cub. That's also now because of Zombie Cleo. Canon, we say.
They, out of spite, ran across the entire distance of the world.
Yeah.
On a pig? No, not on a pig.
On a horse.
On a horse.
The Ghost of Klein's hen. I love it so much. I love it. It was so... I feel like that's a good way to wrap up how we talk about this season. Was like, it went from like, yeah, we're gonna get people to do these permits. You're not doing these permits. You're fighting against the permits to exile. And Cleo went, you want to see about that? And then just got on a horse on the nether roof.
You can't keep me there.
And just started writing for like, what, 3 or 4 days straight? Just
kept the computer on. I remember from Exuma's point of view, maintaining the server, just constantly having to unload these so many chunks that are never going to be seen again. We're on the nether roof. We're doing our best.
Like, why is Cleo doing this? Because of spite. Because she can. Because of everything else that has led up to this moment. That is why Cleo is doing this. And it's just... there's this beautiful fan art. I don't think I have the credit saved right now, but it was the background of my phone for the longest time. And it was Cleo on the Ghost of Klein's hen. It was so pretty.
Good. Very good.
Very good.
Very good indeed. I love it.
Very good.
There's so many things that we could talk about for this season, but we don't have the time.
We've been going for more than an hour, and I need to edit this.
If you really need a recap, boy, do I have good news for you. There's this thing called Hermitcraft Recap.
Yeah, everyone was like, you should do something with Hermitcraft Recap, and I'm like, I think we're both too busy being the recap.
So have fun.
All right. Well,
we'll probably talk a little bit more.
Yeah.
Episode about
we're going to make a semi part 2. All right. Should we give one answer to one single question?
Okay. Give us a question now.
All right. Well, that Byblob wants to know, how often do we sit down and write fan fiction?
Well, that depends on if I'm doing a series or one-shots. I write typically at least once a week. If I'm doing specific fanfic, like in a longer series, or there's an outline already made, because if I'm working with another person and there's an outline and I need to finish a chunk. So 2 times a week for a few hours. Um, I like to schedule it out, but it's the kind of schedule out where it's like, when I have free time on this day so that I can unwind a bit, get my creative brain flowing rather than this time, this day, exactly like this. So most of the time, once, twice a week, sometimes more if I'm in the mood. I write a lot and I read even more.
I have just not had time recently. Work has been absolutely draining. So it's been once every few months. I do live streams. That Bible app is there for most of those live streams when I like put on the rubber duck simulator and just write in the background and hope that counts
Yeah.
as a decent enough live stream. I keep
Yeah,
saying
no,
I'm gonna write like one-shot fan fictions and I just never do. But the
I
thought is
actually
there.
I don't post all of mine. I post the ones that I am more proud of, or I went, this is good, let me refine it into an actual idea. But most of the time when I'm writing, it's just, this is a funny concept. Let me write out a funny concept. This is horrible. Anyway, moving on with my day.
Moving on.
And I just leave it there.
I keep saying I'm going to work more on my novel, and I just had the unfortunate realization yesterday that I'm not starting my novel in the correct spot, and it does absolutely break my heart because I had the perfect opening line and it won't work if I have to change where it starts. So like that's been getting me sad.
So sorry. I like reading. I like writing. Stories fuel my everything.
I've been reading a lot of vampires fan fiction. Honestly, it's so good.
What is up with Ren's accent?
It's so good.
What is wrong with that man?
He's been cursed. Don't worry about it.
Something is wrong with that man and his accents.
It is what it is. All right. Well, do you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye, bye, 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 bye.
Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of FanDive. We'll be back again next Monday diving into yet another fandom. Have a topic or question for the podcast? Head over to our website, fandive.tumblr.com. There you can also find any episode relevant images and general shenanigans that we get up to. It is Tumblr, after all. We're not afraid of being fans of things.